be here. Like Charles said, I'm Martin Leathers. I'm an associate youth minister in the Justin building. And like I said, I've been here for about 17 months. And since the time that I moved here from South Carolina to take this job, I have grown in awe of the students that we get to work with. In addition to we work with 7th through 12th graders, and in addition to the weekly things we do on Sunday mornings with Sunday school and Sunday nights with what has playfully become known as just night church, I've gotten to see our students go to Waco and to New Orleans the past summer to rebuild homes that are still waiting for restoration in the midst of hurricanes. And I've seen students go to a camp in the middle of nowhere, Missouri, called Camp Barnabas, which invites kids and teenagers with special needs to come and invites teenagers and youth groups to come partner with those campers and give them what can only be described as the week of their lives, to become the hands and feet of Jesus, so that teenagers and kids who for 355 days of a year know nothing normal get to have a normal summer camp with ropes courses and camping and swimming and water slides. It's to see our students get to be a part of that, and to see the way that has transformed them and transformed others is the greatest thing that you could ever hope to see. This morning, our theme for our stewardship moment is open me. Open me to God's love. And in what we get to do across the street in the Justin building, when we go out, that's what we get a chance to do every single day that we're with our teenagers. To give them opportunities and experiences which open them to God's love, which open us to God's love in the ways that we see it through them, and the ways that pours out from them into others. You know, it doesn't take long to be around, when you're around teenagers, to realize that when something gets them going and they become passionate about something, it gets done. And when you get to see, and it becomes the most exciting thing in the world, when you get to see what God's love starts to manifest and take root in the lives of kids and teenagers, and you get to see that play out and the way it affects what they do and the people they meet. It is an awe-inspiring thing. And it's what we get to do on a daily basis. This summer when we were in Waco, I got to tell a story. There was a young man, he was in 8th grade, named Jack, and we were serving in a food bank. And afterwards, I was talking to Jack about it, and his response was incredibly beautiful. He looked at me and said, "Martin, when we were there at Caritas, we got to see behind the lines. We got to see what we don't ever see when we're home. We got to see people in their deepest needs, and we got to see and offer our hands to God and see what He could do with it." And it was the most beautiful thing I've maybe ever heard a teenager say. We got to see where God could use our hands today, and we got a glimpse into how God loves us today. It was perfect, and none of what we do in the Justin building is possible without your support. And it's easy to say support and hear money, and it's practical. We can't do what we do without gifts of financial gratitude. But we are able to do what we do because of your support of energy and your time and your presence, the vows we take at baptism, with our witness and your prayer for our students. And that's what we have an opportunity this morning to do. Open us to God's love is not just to offer our financial support to our students and to the ministries of this church, to this celebration, but also our prayers, our lives, our energies, our presence. And that's what changes teenagers' lives, not just the opportunities we have to go out, but the opportunities that this congregation has afforded them with love. And the presence and the prayers they have poured into our students, those relationships are what is growing our students' lives and growing the faith inside them. And so this morning and throughout these weeks, we have these stewardship packets, and they're up behind the piano on the stage. And our prayer is that you would take time to prayerfully consider what it is that you might give this year. And that in the midst of that, you would pray, and not only would you would pledge your gifts financially, but you would pledge to pray for our students, that you would pledge to be present, and that our energy together, as a church, as a congregation, we are youth ministers. Not just Casey and I, but we all have an opportunity to pour into the lives of teenagers. And it's a beautiful thing when such an incredible cloud of witnesses gets together to do that. So as you pray, and as you decide and discern what to give, I pray that you would be blessed in giving, and that in our giving, we would see the gratitude of what God has given us and the ways that it affects and transforms the lives of teenagers and everybody in this congregation. Thank you, guys.